Hi, I'm Eric Siegel, and today I'm going to be reviewing and running Lionel's new legacy-equipped Norfolk Southern Heritage SD70ACe. To my knowledge, this engine is not based on a real-life counterpart. I haven't found any evidence that this engine actually exists in Norfolk Southern's roster. And if I'm wrong about that, then please correct me. I don't know if Lionel worked with Norfolk Southern on the design of it, or if they just came up with it on their own. But regardless of whether or not it's prototypical or not, it's a beautiful engine, and that's why I ordered it when I saw it in the catalog. And I'm glad I did because it looks and sounds great, and it's got lots of detailing, some of which I've never seen on a diesel engine before. So right now I'm going to go over some of the features, pros and cons of this engine, and then I'll run it around the layout for a minute. The construction of this engine is pretty typical for modern O-scale engines. It's got a plastic body, and then die-cast pilots, trucks, and fuel tank, and also a stamped steel frame. The paint job on this engine is first rate. There's no bleeding of colors or anything like that. All the writing is crisp and legible, and all the placards are legible under a magnifying glass. The detailing on this engine is nicely done, and for the most part it's the kind of stuff you would expect on a high-end diesel. The trucks are die cast, and they do have some separately applied detailing, which is nice. The fuel tank is nicely done with some separately painted items. It's a little too shiny for my tastes, but it's not a deal breaker. The pilots do have holes in them for the safety steps. The plow is integrated into the pilot. You've got separate MU hoses here, and then on either side you've got these coupler cut bars. Moving up the locomotive, we've got functioning ditch lights here. There's a safety chain on the rails here. We've got lots of separately applied grab irons, and then the sand caps. There are separately applied windshield wipers on the windshield, and we've got the headlight and number board up here. One thing that I do like about this engine is that, unlike most Lionel locomotives that have that bright white headlight, the ditch lights and headlight are soft yellow. Unlike a lot of other Lionel diesels that I've seen, the doors on this engine actually do open and close. They don't have latches, so on the front one, you just have to kind of push it shut and hope it stays closed. On the back one, however, the door is spring-loaded, which is a little unusual. I've never seen a spring-loaded door. It's a little weird because since there's no latch, it's hard to get open, so you have to use a tweezers to get it open. And then if you let it go, it just snaps back shut, which can be a little aggravating. The only reason I can think that they put the spring-loaded door there was for what I've got right here. If you put a little man there, the door kind of snaps back shut and traps him there, and that way he stays put and it doesn't fall off the train while it's running around the layout. One interesting thing about the cab of this diesel, and something that I've never seen on a diesel before, is that the windows here actually open and close, and I thought that was a nice touch. On the side of the engine, it has two inscriptions that tell you that Norfolk Southern has won the E.H. Harriman Award 20 years in a row. And I did look it up, and in fact Norfolk Southern did win the E.H. Harriman Safety Award 20 years in a row. And it's because of these inscriptions that I'm wondering if Lionel did work with Norfolk Southern on the design of this engine. Because even though this isn't a real engine, it does denote something that happened in real life, and so I'm curious to know what the story behind that is. If anyone knows, please let me know. Moving towards the rear of the unit, we've got a smoke unit here, a nice horn that's been put on. All of the grills on the side of the engine are see-through, which was a nice touch. And then up top, the radiators are nicely done, and they do have fan blades that do spin if you blow on them. The last feature on this engine that I want to show you is probably the coolest one of all, and it's something that I've never seen on a diesel engine before, and that is these operational ground lights on either side of the cab. When the engine is on, the ground lights automatically turn on when the engine goes below a speed of 25 on the legacy controller, and then as soon as you go above 25, they automatically cut off. They look really cool, especially when you're doing a night running. You can't see them that well in a bright light situation like this, but in a minute when I'm running it, I'll dim the lights and then you'll be able to see those ground lights. They look really cool, and it was just a really neat thing for Lionel to do, and it's one of the things that makes this a really special engine. So that's about it for the features of this engine. Now I'm going to power it up, let you listen to it, and run it around the layout for a minute. Okay, I've got the lights dimmed, so I'm going to start the engine up. One thing I wish Lionel would do is that when you turn the engines off, the headlight and the cabin light would go off. Maybe one of these days they'll do that. Anyway, let's start it up. Now right now I've got the ground lights turned off. I'm going to turn them on now. And there they are. Really cool. Love that low speed operation. This horn really sounds great. Now I'm going to slow the engine down, and when it hits 25, those ground lights will come back on. And there they go. Really cool.
1982. Are we clear through the junction? Over. Yes, 1982. The track is clear. Over. Norfolk Southern 1982. You may depart. Over. Copy that. We have that clear. 1982 out.
Really nice crew talk sounds. Here's the bell. And again, that great horn.
Going off duty. 1982 out.
So that's it for this video. I'm Eric Siegel, and I'll see you next time.